What's up, prize fighters? It's time once again to get it on. It's a prize fight punch out between Samsung's Galaxy S8 and Apple's iPhone 7. And don't complain about this not being fair, it's what's out on the market right now. So let's get it on. Round one is design. Is the Galaxy S8 the most beautiful phone design we've ever seen? Right now, that's a yes. It's all screen with its easy to hold narrow body and curved glass that brings the screen to the edges and screams, "Do me, baby." Super AMOLED, 5.8 inches with a 570 pixel per inch density, son. The fingerprint sensor on the back isn't the best placement next to the camera lens. It's not that bad, and you'll get used to it, but I'm not going to ignore it. But wow, this design is spectacular, and it also still includes a headphone jack. Now we know the iPhone 7 is the older phone of the two right now, but it's basically a redo of the 6S with a solid-state Touch ID home button without the headphone jack. Its 4.7-inch LCD display with a 326 ppi is good, but in the tech world, you gotta do better than that. It didn't stop people from buying it, but when you're talking design, you can't deny the Galaxy S8. It's the new guy, and it should be the best. Samsung takes round one. Next round is features. So you want to just take a guess at who brings more to the party? Let's go down most of the S8 list here. A quad-core Snapdragon 835, 4 gigs of RAM, Bluetooth 5.0 for connecting two Bluetooth headsets. I'm not harping on it, but there's still a headphone jack. Gigabit LTE support coming later this year to carriers, and USB-C. It has a fingerprint sensor with Samsung Pay, iris scanning for face unlocking, and it still has wireless charging. Now, Bixby is inactive and coming later to the US, but let's be honest, the best voice recognition comes from Google and its integration of the Google Assistant and Google Now. Oh yeah, it's IP68 water and dust resistant and can last up to 30 minutes under 3 feet of water. MicroSD card support also adds up to 256 gigs of more storage. Plus, it's compatible with the Samsung Gear VR, the Gear 360 camera, and their Samsung DeX accessory. Samsung's TouchWiz is the cleanest version of their OS to date that stays in the background, and it may not woo any iOS users, but Team Samsung knows it's the best OS they've ever had. Now, I'm not being lazy because you don't want me to go down a list of a phone that's a year old, but let's be real. The biggest thing keeping people with the iPhone right now is its ecosystem and its ease of use. It's really good, and its power can't be underestimated. Oh yeah, there's also this upcoming iPhone 8. But when you stack it up to every feature the Galaxy S8 has, it's not even close. Samsung takes round two in a landslide. Round three is camera. Our phones are our cameras, and you know what? That matters. Now, both phones bring 12 megapixel cameras. The S8 brings an f1.7 aperture, while the iPhone 7 has an f1.8 aperture. The results overall are great, but there are really definitely some differences. Samsung always tends to oversaturate their pictures, which can look great on screen, but can come off as a little unnatural compared to the iPhones. Now, features like a true optical zoom to get in close and the portrait mode are on the iPhone 7 Plus, and both of those modes outshine their S8 counterparts if you're going for the best camera each has to offer. Now, the iPhone 7 has neither of these, but it's the S8 that shines when you're talking about the macro mode on something like these fish, or more shots from the S8's burst mode. Even the snappiness and ease of getting low-light photos with the S8 is better, and the wider angle of the selfie camera tops the iPhone as well. Overall, the S8's camera is the one you'll probably want to roll with unless you gotta have that iPhone portrait mode. Samsung takes round three, and the final round is performance. It's a testament to what Apple has done with hardware and software, but the iPhone 7 can still hold more than its own against the Galaxy S8. In Geekbench benchmarks, the iPhone 7's single-core performance score was dominant with a 3527 versus the Galaxy S8's 1916. Now, multi-core performance was pretty close, with the S8 coming in at a 6011 and the iPhone 7 at 5976. But in real-world tests, multiple videos that showcase opening up a series of apps show the iPhone is the faster of the two. It doesn't mean the S8 is slow at all, but Apple has better app management. Now, when it comes to battery life, we squeezed out about 16 hours of juice from the S8 and just under 11 hours for the iPhone 7. And then there's the iPhone 7's antenna issue for cell data. There's a clear difference with your signal quality if you have an iPhone with an Intel modem versus the superior Qualcomm modem. And you know what? I experienced it firsthand. Now this round is closer than you think, but guess what? The Galaxy S8 still takes round 4. So let's add up all the rounds, and yes, we're still waiting for the next iPhone, but Samsung takes all 4 rounds and is your prize fight winner. The looming question is, will Apple bring enough to this year's iPhone to top the S8? It's always going to come down to the ecosystem and the platform you prefer, but right now, the Samsung Galaxy S8 is the best phone in 2017, and Apple has a lot of work to do. I'm Brian Tong, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you all next time for another prize fight. Woo-hoo!